For one reason or another, these actors seem to have lost their way.
Watch out!
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors that have lost their mojo.
I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see.
For this list, we're focusing on notable actors and actresses who seem to have lost that special something in recent years. What we're calling mojo.
What about the old stinkeroo?
We're referring to the appeal, cool factor, and/or charm that once made them a lot more successful and popular than they are today.
But have you looked at my file, sir? It explicitly says that this is a temporary assignment.
Number 10, John Travolta.
Tell her you're sorry, you buy her some flowers, and don't make me come back.
Despite the mega success of FX's American Crime Story,
That's how I'll bring him in at 11, and you have my word, and my word is gold.
one can't deny that John Travolta has been slipping in recent years, with the mixed reviews of his portrayal of Robert Shapiro demonstrating this.
Barbara, my position has always been the same. Race should not and would not be part of this case.
This is the man who once dazzled and thrilled in hits like Grease and Pulp Fiction. But then he starred in and co-produced the cinematic abomination known as Battlefield Earth.
What if we were to train them how to mine?
We've seen that his acting can still be potent, but he certainly hasn't been doing himself any favors with his other recent roles. We're not saying Travolta should retire. It's just that his career trajectory seems to be in a major decline, as his good film roles are few and far between.
I know what it takes. It takes motivation, and you guys have plenty of it.
Number 9, Jim Carrey.
That's from the heart. Don't let it go to your head.
By the mid-2000s, this Canadian comedian was on a roll after starring in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I can't see anything that I don't like about you.
But somehow, things started to grind to a halt after that. Most people blame that halt on the decent but unremarkable the number 23.
Why'd you do this?
And on the fact that the public lost interest in him and new stars have emerged. Ever since, we've all been waiting for that kick-ass role. But instead we got Kick-Ass 2 and Dumb and Dumber 2.
You can do it, come on! Come on, come on, come on! Spit it out! God, yeah!
Sure, you gotta respect the man for taking chances, but it's time for Mr. Carrey to find a relevant collaborator in comedy. One that knows how to harness what's left of his dwindling mojo supply.
You gotta admit, I totally had you suckered, didn't I?
Hook, line, and sphincter!
Number 8, Al Pacino.
Students there can always use something to learn on.
We can't really blame this icon of cinema for deciding to take things a bit easier after so many hit films. He's getting older, so it's a fact of life. But flicks like Danny Collins and Manglehorn seem vastly beneath him.
How are you, buddy? It's been a while, man.
It has, Gary, it has, you know. I'm doing all right, you know, just hanging in. Just trying to play the game here now.
Sadly, it's easier to name 3 or 4 comedians that do a top-notch Pacino impression than it is to name 3 or 4 good Pacino films from the last 15 years.
You're playing D&D. You're playing D&D. This whole apartment is playing D&D.
We have infinite respect for the man who starred in Dog Day Afternoon and the Godfather trilogy.
It's not personal, Sonny. It's strictly business.
And even in his older age, he's given great performances like in Any Given Sunday.
On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch.
Just promise us, Al, no more appearances in Adam Sandler productions. We doubt our hearts would be able to take it.
Sister? Oh my God.
I know she's in here, Popcorn.
How'd you get over the fence?
Chill, come on!
Number 7, Cameron Diaz.
Oh my God, no. Oh God, sorry. Jesus, I think that might have been his balls.
Ms. Diaz has had a rough time in the world of acting in the new millennium. While she tried her hand at comedy twice in the same year, that unfortunately brought us a cringe-worthy performance in Sex Tape.
That is what I am talking about.
I feel good about this
Me
one.
too.
And the tone-deaf Colleen Hannigan in Annie.
I used to be a bright star.
We understand she would want to try something a little edgier, and a Ridley Scott film sounds like the best place to start. However, all that did was give us the confusing and unsexy scene of her grinding a car in The Counselor.
So, she does this full split,
And then she starts rubbing herself up and down.
Let's hope she finds some middle ground that doesn't have her doing anything related to sex-based comedy, at least for her own sake. Because the last thing we need is a repeat of The Other Woman.
Is this some kind of strippergram or something?
Oh. No. No.
Number 6, Jodie Foster.
Well, that's too bad, because there's really not much we can do about it, is there?
The Silence of the Lambs will undoubtedly remain a classic suspense thriller for generations to come.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Unfortunately, it seems that Ms. Foster hasn't been able to shine as brightly since. Roles in Inside Man, Panic Room, and Elysium may have been good, but these have also been few and far between.
I'm not interested in your little ideas. I'm interested in something much larger.
Then there were films like The Beaver and Carnage, which have pretty much been swept under the rug and forgotten. Let's just hope that her directorial venture succeeds to counteract her lack of acting mojo, as it would be a waste for Clarice Starling to fade into obscurity.
You fly back to school now, little Starling. Fly.
All we need to do is watch her breakout performance in Taxi Driver to remember all that potential.
Listen, mister, it's your time. 15 minutes ain't long.
Number 5, Johnny Depp.
My husband is trying to reclaim his youth by growing that horrible moustache. Do inform him that that ship has sailed.
Every Mordecai man before me has had one, and I will have you know that some members of the fairer sex do find it quite appealing.
While we can never get enough of Captain Jack Sparrow, it's fair to say that Depp's outrageous and witty characters were becoming a bit formulaic. His character acting is definitely top-notch, but at times he seems to be the only thing in his films worth investing in.
In that case, not so good.
But then there's the opposite situation, as shown in his unremarkable performance in The Painful Transcendence.
I'll be long gone. But you'll never hear the end of it.
Luckily, the release of Black Mass showed us that Depp still has a hunger for roles that harken back to the days of Donnie Brasco and Blow. We're really hoping to see more good Johnny in the near future.
I knew what I was put on the planet for. It was the greatest feeling I ever had, followed very abruptly by the worst feeling I ever had.
Number 4, Mike Myers.
Oh, I've got your mojo now, Sonny Jim.
These days, it seems that this man has long forgotten what makes good comedy, though there was a time when he really knew it all.
Would you like a schmuck and a pancake? A what?
Still, was there any reason for him to subject us to the final Austin Powers and Shrek films?
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
It seems like you can have too much of a good thing, as those franchises proved. And the less said about his venture with the Love Guru, the better.
I want to become a guru so girls will like me. Then I will like myself.
While he's been slowly climbing back up the ladder, as seen in his brief but solid appearance in Inglourious Basterds.
We have all our rotten eggs in one basket. The objective of Operation Kino? Blow up the basket.
We're really hoping the next time he branches out in comedy, he'll have his mojo back, baby.
I've lost my mojo.
Number 3, Eddie Murphy.
That's right, fool. Now I'm a flying talking donkey.
Speaking of Shrek, this comedic legend has traded originality for a slow decline into the same old shtick. Eddie Murphy has unfortunately become the face of the Golden Raspberry Award in recent years.
Hey, listen. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you.
The Adventures of Pluto Nash, Norbit, Meet Dave, 1,000 words.
I want to be a bird. I want to be a bird, and I want to swallow your philosophy. Then I want to spit it back into the mouths of the children of the world.
What was once a glowing resume of comedy is slowly being soiled with cheap and unfunny films. Yes, there have been a few gems, such as a genuinely sinister performance in Dreamgirls.
What's R&B mean?
Rough and black.
So that gives us hope that no matter what genre he chooses to tackle next, he will be able to slowly restore our faith in his mojo.
Oh, and it is lovely.
Number 2, Robert De Niro.
Stanley, see this? This is this. This ain't something else. This is this. From now on, you're on your own.
On paper, 2016's Dirty Grandpa was a success. But was it really, though? Is this an acceptable performance from a legend of cinema?
She told me on her deathbed, you get back out there again.
The answer is no. Despite all of Robert De Niro's landmark roles, Hollywood seems to want him to play cheap tough guys or unfunny stubborn elders, and frankly, we're all getting tired of it.
Thanks, Ace. You're not gonna drink anymore, right?
You're calling me Ace?
Even though they weren't award contenders, The Intern and Joy show us that given the right material, De Niro can still give us a solid performance.
You know what you are, Terry? You're like a gas leak. We don't see you, we don't smell you, but you're silently killing us all.
Since he's supposed to be reuniting with Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, though, we are praying that we'll see De Niro give it his all and make our jaws drop once again for all the right reasons.
I didn't tell you to write, I didn't tell you to do anything. I just said, pull over to the curb. When we pull over to the curb, we're gonna sit here.
Before we unveil our number one pick, here are some honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
Where are we gonna go and see Burn Up at your finger? No arguments. You hear me?
Safe as milk was the deal.
Do I look like a milkman?
Watch the mayor, he's getting a load on. You think I should have sprung for the country club?
It's like an amusement park.
Shall we?
Did you get an invitation?
I write about her sometimes.
You do?
Yeah, I make up stories about how
You make
she and
up stories. Maggie, you know I don't want you doing that.
Number 1, Adam Sandler.
Why? What have I ever done for you? What have I ever done for anybody?
To be fair, you could say that Adam Sandler is fiercely loyal to his Happy Madison family. And for a good 5-year stretch from 1998 to 2003, his role selections seem to be paying off with their unique blend of mindless humor and the human element.
I'll miss you, kiss you, give you my coat when you are cold.
But today, Sandler isn't just phoning it in. He appears to have lost touch with reality completely.
Are you going bald? Huh? No, you're getting fatter and your hair doesn't realize it needs to cover more face.
We can almost forgive him for Jack and Jill, but the fact that Pixels and The Ridiculous Six actually exist is proof enough that people really need to stop going to see Adam Sandler films.
We don't mean no harm. We're just looking for our dad.
As terrible reviews clearly aren't bothering him.
Maybe you should have checked with me first. Make sure I want to stay.
Do you agree with our list? What actor or actress do you think has lost a considerable amount of mojo?
What are you doing? I forgot.
For more poignant top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Burn this.
I'm sorry?
This must never be seen by anyone.